Well, welcome to the podcast. I'm super glad that y'all are going to be here today. Would you like to introduce yourself and we'll get started there?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sarah Todd. I am the physician on staff at Zula Modern Med Spa. I'm here with my partner, Leslie, who is an esthetician. She's amazing. She is self-made and just a wonderful partner to be with.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I feel the same way about you. Yes, I'm Leslie Ware. I'm an esthetician and makeup artist here in Huntsville. Opened Exhale Day Spa in 2008, and over the last couple of years have slowly transitioned into Zula, and now partnering with Dr. Todd, transitioning into a med spa. So now we're officially Zula Modern Med Spa, and loving the transition and everything that journey is bringing right now.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I know both y'all are Huntsville natives. You traveled a little bit for school and kind of did all of that. I think you were in Tennessee prior to coming here out of residency. Talk a little bit about sort of that for you, Leslie, sort of the opening up of that, of your first spa in 2008, and talk a little bit about your background, Sarah, and kind of in the medical realm.
Sure. So I am a pediatrician, actually, full-time, and went to school in Birmingham, stayed there for med school. I wanted some different experience for residency, so moved to Memphis and trained there, which was wonderful. And then just really wanted to be back here. My husband was here, and I love Huntsville, grew up here. I actually became a client of Leslie's first.
Okay.
And was getting ready for my wedding, and she was helping me with skincare and just taking care of myself. And so we met that way. And then over the next few years, we started doing injectables together. So kind of started doing some Botox and filler, and it just kind of organically grew from there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We just needed more excuses to hang out with each other.
There you go. Let's just join businesses so we just never have to not see each other.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, when you started the spa, I guess that you did in 2008, was there like, what was the scene looking like in Huntsville in 2008 within that industry that you were kind of starting a new business in?
I'll be honest, I kind of jumped into it blind. I was in the beauty industry for several years prior. I was mainly in the makeup side of everything, and the stars kind of just aligned where I needed to be in Huntsville more. I needed to travel less, and I really wanted to start offering services that the clients got long-term benefit from. You know, makeup is fun, it's great, I still love it, but at the end of the day, a client goes home and washes it off. And I wanted to offer corrective solutions. So at that point, I went back to school, got my aesthetics license, and just straight out of the gate was like, I'm working for myself. I'm going to just create a job and a work environment that feels good to me and feels good to my clients, and was very blessed that worked.
Yeah.
So.
Was that entrepreneurial ick to like start your own business, was that something that kind of happened after you kind of got into the makeup stuff, or is that something that you think you've seen in like growing up here in Huntsville and kind of seen that itch to do something like that at some point?
I think it's just my rebel spirit and my not liking to be confined to the norm. So for me, like, working for myself has just always been the goal, you know.
And so like when you opened that spa and you started kind of doing that, kind of offering something that's more long lasting than just the makeup, did you see the success of that just right off the bat, or did it take a little bit for like your clientele to continue to grow and expand with you?
I think it was kind of a natural, slow progression. You know, I didn't go into it with any expectations other than just, can I pay my bills, and can I offer good services, and build a clientele where there's mutual benefit. You know, I'm providing them a service that they really genuinely need, and for them, it's worth them paying me. So that it just really grew very naturally, and I don't know that I ever envisioned things getting as big as they are now. Now. But that's fantastic.
Yeah,
like what a beautiful, wonderful surprise to be here.
Yeah, and it's all it's like it's one of those things. It's now you're looking back, you're like, wow, like it's been a long, like you've seen that journey, but it's also like where you are now, you're like, there's so much more we can do.
Yes.
Like you're at like it's some other sort of crossroads where it's like, hey, we're continuing in this whole nother direction now, but it's super exciting and super fun. Was that so? I mean, for you, Sarah, I mean, going to med school, doing all of that, kind of going in that medical realm, and then coming back and now kind of being a part in the entrepreneurial journey of Zula. Was entrepreneurial stuff interesting to you growing up, or is that something that kind of, as you became a client of Leslie's, you were like, I think I kind of want to do something like this too, or kind of help make this dream a reality?
You know, it never was in my 5-year plan or anything like that. I learned a lot about entrepreneurship through my husband. And I think it just kind of grew naturally over time. I like working for myself as well. And I think just the contrast between my day-to-day pediatrician job versus the beauty industry is just enough variation to keep it really interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely stretched, me, and I'm having to learn a whole lot of new things.
I bet.
But I think that's good. I mean, I couldn't, have a better partner to do it with. It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, when did obviously you started using Leslie as sort of a, hey, you're getting ready to get married. You kind of seek that out. When did sort of the conversations happen between the two of you of like, let's actually join together and provide more services? And what time was when did that happen? And kind of what was y'all's first steps?
Yeah. I was probably a client for 2-3 years before we started kind of talking about it. She had another doctor that was coming in and just doing very part-time injectables with her, and he was retiring. Yeah. And so we had been talking about it, and then there was this a sudden deadline that he was not going to be, working anymore. So it kind of sped things along, but I probably needed that little push, and just because it was so different from what I normally do. But it was good. And then we just have kind of gradually over the years, I mean, that's been 8 years now. So we've gradually over the years talked about different things, getting lasers and new equipment and new services. And it just, everything aligned that, this year we've really just blown up.
Yeah.
So.
And then I guess did the rebrand of Zula sort of happen this year, or has that been something that's, as you've worked through these ideas of like, hey, we're actually going to partner together, we're going to provide these extra services beyond what you were already providing, Leslie. Did that transition of Zula kind of happen a couple of years ago, or is that something that's really in the last 6 to 8 months really kind of occurred? Yeah,
so interestingly, I actually changed the name about 1.5 years ago, but I think that was just a precursor to knowing that there was a shift coming anyways. When I first started Exhale Day Spa, we really focused more on, we had aesthetics and massage therapy, and I had hairstylists, and I had a nail tech. We really were doing more of the day spa services. And over the years, I've really wanted to just hone in on the aesthetic side. I love skin. I love skin care. I love, like I said, those real treatments that produce quality long-term results. And so when I would tell people, oh, I own Exhale Day Spa, the first thing they would ask was one of those other services that we weren't really offering anymore. Wow. And the name Zula had been in the back of my mind for probably 6 or 7 years. And so one day I was just like, to be true to what the brand is now, I feel like it's just time to rename. And then kind of serendipitously after that, we had those conversations about expanding, and it just all seemed to really fit.
Yeah. I mean, where did the name Zula come from? I mean, as far as, like you said, you've had it for a couple of years prior to actually making the shift. Where did that initial name or the idea for that name come about?
Yeah, I actually heard that word for the first time when my daughter and I were in Israel in 2012. So it's a Hebrew word, and it means luminous and brilliant and ahead. And for me, that's just everything that, we're trying to provide: luminous skin, brilliant ideas and brilliant solutions, and ahead in the industry. We always want to offer what is the newest, greatest technology and be able to give people the best results possible.
Yeah. I mean, is it in the industry that y'all are, I mean, like I said, like we've talked about it off air, I know very little about the industry y'all are in. Obviously, I don't go to a spa very often, or maybe ever. I don't think I
should.
I should come to Zula. I mean, I feel like that's like, I'm the spokesperson y'all need. Is never went to the spa for 100%, never went to the spa before, and now he's all in on Zula. But as far as like, how tough is it to stay up to date in that sort of industry? Like, is it something that's changing quarterly? Is it something that's changing yearly? Is it changing every 2 or 3 years?
It is ever changing. And I think with social media and influencers now becoming like experts in everything, there's so many trends and a lot of information that you have to weed through. So there's legitimate change in the industry where like new technology comes out and you always want to be really informed on that. But there's a lot of information out there that, is just kind of junky information. I'll have clients come in and ask me all the time, what about this? What about this? And you do have to do a lot of education now on being able to direct people in the right way, because if everybody followed every single trend, that who knows what their skin would look like.
And then, I mean, I'm assuming like over the years of y'all kind of acquiring new equipment to kind of produce what y'all are doing now with Zula, I mean, it takes a long time to kind of get the equipment, figuring out kind of the best uses. Is there sort of like I don't know, is there someone locally, or is there other like examples of companies that are doing similar work to what y'all are doing? Or are you kind of that frontier as far as what Huntsville has to offer, offering the wide assortment of things that you do? I mean, your website's, I mean, the list goes on and on and on about all the different things y'all do within Zula.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We definitely, I mean, there are people in town that have a laser and do laser hair removal and tattoo removal and things like that. But all the equipment that we have is frontline, new. We got it all this year. We jumped right in. And really feel like a lot of it is cutting edge. Yeah. We've had people already coming in, you know, where we're doing treatments for them that they've done before at other places and haven't worked very well or not to their expectations. And they've been happy so far. So we're excited about that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We do have a hair restoration device that we're really excited about. That's a newer kind of technology that we're not seeing a lot here in town. It's not invasive. It's really easy. It's downtime is very minimal, 30 minutes for treatment, and you don't have any kind of injection or pain or anything like that. So we're really excited about that.
And I'm assuming like in all these equipments that y'all are getting to do that sort of the stuff that you kind of help with at Zula is some of the things that's like, you know, these new technologies and the new way of doing it. It's always, I mean, it's not becoming sort of that influencer side kind of doing that as much like on your end, Leslie, but there is that, hey, in 2 years, there's a new way of doing this with a better equipment that's more streamlined and more just efficient in producing that same quality result. Absolutely. So like having to kind of stay up to date with all that is, I couldn't imagine.
And one of the cool things about some of the newer technology is there are a lot of procedures that have in the past been associated with greater amounts of pain and downtime. And that's one of the things I really love about the things we've invested in is, you know, we can get some of those great same results that I guess more aggressive treatments in the past. You'd have a lot of downtime. You'd have a lot of pain associated. The newer technologies really do a great job at minimizing pain, minimizing downtime, and still producing those great results. So clients are happier in the long run. They don't have to, you know, disrupt their lives to do something for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would assume some of the clientele that you've had over since 2008 is probably some of the same clientele you have today.
It is.
How excited were they when you were able to add these new features on, and did that kind of expand your audience beyond? Because I mean, the word of mouth is hard to beat.
Yes.
And like with any marketing, I mean, you could do so much social media stuff and be seen by a lot of people, but word of mouth is really the best referral you can ever get. Mm-hmm. When you started adding this to the list of things you could do at Zula, to your current clientele, did that begin to just expand it like wildfire?
They were very excited. I'll be honest, though, I think one of the reasons we decided to go this route was because we had so many requests. We had so many people saying, like, I need this done, I need this done, I need this done. And because we had built such a good rapport with them, we knew, like, okay, if we bring these things in, we can provide this service for them instead of having to send them elsewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've all been excited. We've been getting a lot of word of mouth from our clients that jumped right in and did treatments. Like their friends are saying, what are you doing? Your skin looks amazing. And they're, you know, we women like to talk. We like to talk. So,
and just to brag on Leslie, she's never advertised. Everything since 2008 has all been word of mouth, personal referrals, personal relationships. So, we pride ourselves on that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
To grow from 2008 to now in 2023, we're recording this on August 25th. I mean, word of mouth it's incredible to see that. I mean, the rapport that people have for the work that you do has ultimately grown you to where you are today. And then now with adding all these other things, I mean, you're reaching an audience that's never seen you before.
Yes.
Really that's why we're here today on the podcast. But with I know we talk about a lot. I mean, but most people associate spas with women going to spas, but a huge audience that you're hoping to reach too is men going to the spas. Talk a little bit about some of either the services that you provide or the things that you've seen that men are really excited about that now you do at Zula.
Yeah, I think honestly, anything that a female is a candidate for, a male is a candidate for too. I think maybe they need a little more permission to take care of themselves in that way. But, everything from our body contouring device. If they're a guy that's in the gym and just has that little love handle thing they can't get rid of, they're a great candidate. Obviously, the hair restoration device, they're a great candidate. I see a lot of men caring more about their skin now. Now, sometimes it takes their wife pushing them and saying, honey, go do that. Like, I do this for myself. You can go do this too. So we do get a lot of couples that, come in and get treatments together. But I think the trend is changing where men are starting to see the value also in keeping up their appearance, anti-aging, all of the things. So we strongly encourage them to come in, and we'd love to take care of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, what if someone's listening and they go to Zula today and they walk in and they're kind of wanting that experience? What could someone expect to see when they walk into your place, and kind of what is that environment that you are kind of creating?
Mm-hmm. Well, they'd probably walk in and see my face first. I'm always there. They'd come in, get greeted, and hopefully just have a great conversation about what they're looking for, and really spend some time getting a good game plan for them, something that fits in their time, in their budget, and in their comfort zones.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like, I can see from my perspective coming into something like that, not knowing anything, I would be like a little overwhelmed of like, okay, so like, what do I expect to like, what kind of questions are they going to ask me? Did I answer them in the right way? Like, I'd be very like, how maybe you would be nervous coming on a podcast. I'd be nervous going into the spa. I'd be like, I just don't know. I just don't feel like this is a place that I'm like comfortable with. But I think, from the website too, of just having everything kind of outlined so that if someone is listening and they wanting to find out more, I mean, the website's a good first spot. I mean, they can really get educated around what y'all are doing. And the education is still a huge part of what y'all do today. I mean, there's still people that come in, I'm assuming that you are kind of having to educate them. Like, they might know of a few of the things you provide, but a lot of the services, they just don't even know they exist. Like, how hard has that been over the last maybe 6 to 8 months since you've kind of gone full in with all this equipment that you've had to really educate the consumer?
It does take a lot of education up front. We always want to give realistic expectations. And really dig into specifically questions about what are you looking for? Are you looking for skin tightening? Are you looking for pigment improvement? Which area bothers you? There's just so many detailed questions, and really trying to get down to what someone's expecting, I think helps us be able to deliver services better to them. And, ultimately we want them to be satisfied and happy, and, telling their girlfriends about their treatments and all of that. So we do spend a lot of time in consultations, just giving people kind of, here's what I think would be best for you. And Leslie's experience is so crucial for that. She has seen so many people over so long of time periods that she knows, what to tell them and all that. So we do spend a lot of time on that. Yeah.
I mean, Leslie, thinking about this journey you've had as an entrepreneur from 2008, kind of opening up the first spa to then kind of now, how much of that, those first 5 to 10 years of you opening up that spa in 2008 kind of helped prepare you for what you're doing now? And then is there some things that you're like, you thought you'd be prepared for because of all the past experiences, you're not now like, wow, I didn't think that was going to be something that was going to come up, to kind of have to re-navigate and kind of figure it out?
I think every day is a journey towards the future. So I can look back over the last 15 years and see where everything was preparing me for where we are now, and what we're doing now is preparing us for the next level, which hopefully will be even bigger and better. I think Sarah and I are both of the same mindset of, we always want to grow, we always want to expand, we always want to do more and offer more. But I think, as to your question of like, what are you not prepared for? I think there's a lot of things that you really don't know what you're doing until you just get into it.
For sure.
And even, deciding to bring in so many new devices at once, talking about education, that was just a mind-blowing amount of learning again that we had to do. So we're always trying to educate our clients, but we had to get re-educated on a ton of new technology. It was kind of like, oh gosh, my brain doesn't work like it did in high school. It's like going back to college when you're 40, So I think for me, that just the unexpected amount of information and all of those things, but it's great. Like, I could not be happier with where we're headed. what we're doing now and everything that we can do for our clients.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording this in August, almost the end of August, 2023. Thinking about kind of what the rest of the year looks like, as well as maybe what the next 2 or 3 years look like. What are some goals that y'all have, and maybe individually for the business, as well as maybe some joint goals that you're like, we would love to see this together be able to succeed, maybe in each individual roles that you have within the business, as well as maybe a joint?
Yeah, we are looking currently at a new location, kind of
Really?
expanding our space, hopefully getting some staff in, and just being able to service people, what they're needing in a quick amount of time. So that's our big goal for the next 6 months. And I think ultimately we have some big dreams. Huntsville's a cool place. We've got a lot of cool ideas about some collaborations with some local folks too.
Yeah,
So
I mean, because I think as we're listening to this, you're collaborating right now with Honest Coffee. I've seen the acai bowl that y'all have and sort of the giveaway thing. I was actually looking at that right before y'all got here. I was like, oh, look. And so I was like, I'm actually having them on the podcast. It's funny how that's happened a lot lately with guests where like I'll get something in or I'll see a post about a guest and I'm like, well, that guest is coming in the next 5 minutes, like perfect timing. But I think what's interesting, and I'll let you, Leslie, kind of talk about the goals, and we'll kind of continue on going. But is there certain goals that you have beyond just that, hey, let's get a new space, or maybe individual goals that you would love to see the business be able to kind of accomplish in the next year or two?
Yeah. I mean, I think my goal is, as I've been twisting Sarah's arm for the last 10 years, to just come work with me full time. But she's a fantastic pediatrician. She does not need to leave what she's doing, but it would give us even more time to hang out together.
True.
Good work buddies. But no, I see ultimately us doing something, without spilling too many beans, I see us ultimately doing something new and big and fabulous in Huntsville from a spa perspective.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can bring something here that people here haven't seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a question that I've heard people ask, but I've never actually asked on the podcast. But I think it's a good fit. If there was a headline, like a news article headline, a AL.com headline in the next couple of years about Zula and about what you're doing in Huntsville, what would you want that headline to say?
I don't know. I think something like local Huntsville natives open destination spa, something along those lines. Yeah. Just something that Huntsville's not had and seen. And I mean, we're drawing so many people in these days.
Yeah.
Something like that.
2 Huntsville ladies killing it.
Yeah.
I love it. And like, I mean, it's interesting. You're both Huntsville natives, and you kind of, I talked to a variety of different people that are Huntsville natives that have only been here a few years. I'm a Huntsville native, never born here, never left, went to school here. Don't plan on leaving anytime soon. But was there always that, hey, I love the Huntsville community, and like for you, Sarah, coming back and being here and being able to be pouring into the Huntsville community either through partnerships and stuff like that y'all are doing, and how has that been something that's been such a blessing to kind of see the company that sees Zula grow and flourish in a community that's also growing and flourishing?
Absolutely. I mean, Huntsville's changed incredibly, since I was a kid here, and just exciting to see, all the new things that we're bringing in, and I meet so many new families that are coming in with their young kids, and it's a great place to live and raise young kids, but also just to be able to, see people for over a long period of time. It's why I went into pediatrics to start with, because I love that relationship. And I think I'm just excited about the growth we have, the new folks we have coming in, and potential for later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's incredible to see your journey, like, of entrepreneurship, Leslie, with starting it in 2008, word of mouth, growing it as big as it has been, and then now partnering with Sarah to kind of extend the growth. Thinking through your success in the business, how much of your success would you contribute to being in the right place at the right time, and how much would you contribute to your hard work?
I think it's got to be everything. And I think even beyond like right place, right time and hard work, I think you've got to bring something of value to the table. And, like I was saying earlier, the mutual benefit. I think, I've been able to build that rapport with my clients and just bring an authentic experience to them every single time. So hard work, yes, but I think authentic work, and I think honest work, and good timing never hurts.
For sure. The last question I always ask every guest is, if my audience is listening, they're watching the video on YouTube, they're listening to it on the car ride and to work, wherever it might be, where can they find you at Zula? Where can they connect with you? Where can they book a consultation? Where can they do all of that good stuff?
So we are physically located right behind Whole Foods on Merchants Walk. Our social is Zula Modern Med Spa on Instagram and Facebook. That's our website URL as well. We have an app actually that you can download and explore more of our services.
Oh, wow.
It's zula.repeatmd.com.
Okay.
We've got a cool check-in system where they can earn rewards for check-ins, and it's got all of our information about all of our different services that we offer.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll have all your information in the episode notes, so all the links to your website, the app, the location, everything will be there for anyone that's listening to find out more information. But I thank you for spending the last 25 or so minutes talking a little bit more about Zula, educating me on what a modern med spa is. It's always fun to go into these conversations, genuinely curious about what y'all are doing, and so I'm excited to continue to see the growth you'll have in Huntsville for years to come. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm excited to see you at your first appointment.
Yeah, I'll be there soon.
Great.